Hi, this is lesson 2 for pre-algebra. We are going to be writing our own algebraic expressions today. Hopefully you recall an algebraic expression is any expression that contains an operation and has a variable in it. To start us off, we're really going to need to focus on some of the word phrases. Think about all the word phrases you've learned in problem solving all through your education so far to give you an idea of whether you're supposed to be adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. And we'll have to make sure that we look very carefully at the order of the word phrases in the statement in order to get our phrases and our expressions written correctly. So let's look at some word phrases. We're going to take the phrases that are given to us and turn them into mathematical expressions. All right, so number 1, we have a number decreased by 11. So the decreased here means subtract, so this means subtract. A number, that tells us we don't know what that is. So you can use any letter that you want to. I like using X, but if you want to use an N, or you want to use a J, or you want to use an A, it doesn't matter. So the number, which is going to be your variable, is decreased by 11. So the way we would write that is X minus 11. The quotient of 3 and the number H. So the quotient of means dividing, right? So if you're putting 3 and H in there, then the 3 is going to come first, and then the H will come last. So we would say 3 divided by H. In this case, you have to use the letter H because it is given to you in the problem. The other way you could write it is 3 divided by H. Most of the time, this is what is acceptable in algebraic expressions. Let's try one more than the product of 12 and P. Give you a hint, this one has 2 operations in it. So more than is going to be a plus, and the product means we're going to have a multiplication in it. Oops, my X didn't go all the way there. So one more than the product of 12 and P. I want you to think about where the parentheses might be in here. So our 12 and our P is going to be an operation that's separate. So it would be 1 more than 12 times P, but an easier way of writing 12 times P would be 1 more than 12P. Let's try 3 times the sum of Q and 1, and this one is very important that you have a parentheses. So times means multiply, and sum means plus. But we have the sum of Q and 1, so it needs to be in parentheses. So we're going to have 3 times the sum of Q plus 1. The better way to write that is you take out that times sign there and you just stick the 3 right up against the parentheses. So 3 times Q plus 1. So anytime you're solving word problems, the first thing you do is you interpret the action that you need to perform, and then you're going to choose the correct operation for that action. So you need to interpret what the words say and then choose the operation, operations being addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. So anytime you have how many all together, you need to kind of look at that and decide, are you supposed to be adding or multiplying? If you're combining equal groups, it's better to multiply. If you have 3 groups of 5, then you would multiply rather than saying, going the harder way and saying 5 plus 5 plus 5. It's easier to say 3 times 5. How many more, how many less? Those mean subtract. And in this case, you're separating them into groups. And if you're separating into equal groups, now we're talking about division. Let's try some interpreting word operations to use in a word problem. Monica got a 200-minute calling card and called her brother at college. After talking with him for T minutes, she had T less than 200 minutes remaining on her card. Write an expression to determine the number of minutes remaining on the calling card. So she had 200 to begin with, and now she has less. So which operation should we use? We're going to be using subtraction. So the way we would write that is we had 200. We're going to take away what she used. So if Monica talked with her brother for 55 minutes, how many minutes does she have left on her card? Now we're just going to take our 55 and stick that value in there for t. So 200 minus 55. So she has 145 minutes left. Anytime you're doing word problems, make sure you label your answer with the appropriate units from the problem, just to make sure, because it's not 145 hours, it's 145 minutes. Let's try another one. Rob and his friends buy a set of baseball season tickets. The 81 tickets are divided equally among P people. If he divides them among 9 people, how many tickets does each person get? So we're going to start off with our algebraic expression. We have 81 tickets. They're going to be divided equally among P people. So now we know how many people we can substitute. So 81 divided by 9. Everybody's going to get 9 tickets. Let's try this one. A company airs its 30-second commercial in times during a Super Bowl at a cost of $2.2 million each time. What will the cost be if the commercial is aired 2, 3, 4, and 5 times? So every time it is aired, it costs $2.2 million. Every time it's aired. So that's the times. So we could say that it's 2.2 times n. And then we'll just say that the answer is in millions of dollars. So if our n is equal to 2, we would have 2.2 times n is 4.4 million. If our n is equal to 3, we have 2.2 n. Our n is equal to 3, then that is 6.6 million. If our n is equal to 4, 2.2 times n. 2.2 times 4 would be 8.8 million. And n equal to 5 is 11 million. So sometimes in a problem you'll be asked to solve for more than one value of that n. Today's assignment, just answer these 4 questions. Once again, answer them on paper, take a picture of it, and try to post it to Edmodo. If you have any trouble with that, I will take your paper as your admission ticket to come into class tomorrow. And you need to have that done before you come. And I will see you tomorrow.